And after all, the weather was ideal. They could not have had a more perfect day for a garden party if they had ordered it. Windless, warm, the sky without a cloud. Only the blue was veiled with a haze of light gold, as it is sometimes in early summer. Gardner had been up since dawn, mowing the lawns and sweeping them until the grass and the dark flat rosettes where the daisy plants had been seemed to shine. As for the roses, you could not help feeling they understood that roses are the only flowers that impress people at garden, the only flowers that everybody is certain of knowing. Hundreds, yes, literally hundreds, had come out in a single night. The green bushes bowed down as though they had been visited by archangels. Breakfast was not yet over before the men came to put up the marquee. Where do you want the marquee? Put my dear child. It's no use asking me. I'm determined to leave everything to your children this year. Forget I am your mother. Treat me as an honored guest. But Meg could not possibly go and supervise the men. She had washed her hair before breakfast, and she sat drinking her coffee in a green turban with a dark, wet curl stamped on each cheek. Jose, the butterfly, always came down in a silk petticoat and a kimono jacket. You'll have to go, Laura. You're the artistic one. And besides, she loved having to arrange things. She away. Laura flew, still holding her piece of bread and butter. It's so delicious to have an excuse for eating out of doors. Always felt she could do it so much better than anybody else. They, for men in their shirt sleeves, stood grouped together on the garden path, carried staves covered with rolls of canvas, and they had big tool bags slung on there, and she couldn't possibly throw it away. Facts, they looked impressive. Laura wished now that she had not got the bread and butter, but there was nowhere to put it. Blushed and tried to look severe and even a little bit short-sighted as she came up to what nice eyes he had. Small. And now she looked at the others. They were smiling too. How very nice workmen were! And what the cheer affected that! She was ashamed and stammered like a little girl. Oh, why have you come? Is it about the marquee? That's right, miss, said the tallest of the men, a lanky, freckled fellow, and he shifted his tool bag, knocked back his straw hat, and smiled down at her. That's about it. His smile was so easy, so friendly that Laura recovered. But such a dark blue. Up, we won't bite, their smiles seemed to say. A beautiful morning. She mustn't mention the morning. She must be businesslike. Marquee. Well, what about the lily? Would that do? And she pointed to the lily lawn with the hand that didn't hold the bread. But she did quite follow him. They turned. They stared in the direction. A little fat chap thrust out his underlip, and the tall fellow frowned. I don't fancy it, said he. Not conspicuous enough, you see, with a thing like a marquee. And he turned to Laura in his easy way. You want to put it somewhere where it'll give you a bang slap in the eye, if you follow me. Laura's upbringing made her wonder for a moment whether it was quite respectful of a workman to talk to her a bang slap in the eye. A corner of the tennis court, she suggested. But the band's going to be in one corner. Him going to have a band, are you? Said another of the workmen. He was pale. He had a haggard look as his dark eyes scanned the tennis. What was he thinking? Only a very small band, said Laura gently. Perhaps he wouldn't mind so much if the band was quite small. But the tall fellow interrupted. Look here, miss. That's the place. Against those trees over there. That'll do fine. Against the... Then the carica trees would be hidden, and they were so lovely, with their broad, gleaming leaves and their clusters of yellow fruit. They were like trees you imagined growing on a desert island, proud, solitary, lifting their leaves and fruits. And now to the sun in a kind of silent splendor. Must they be hidden by a marquee? They must already. The men had shouldered their staves and were making for the place. Only the tall fellow was left. He bent down, pinched a sprig of lavender, put his thumb and forefinger to his nose and snuffed up the smell. When Laura saw that gesture, she forgot all about the caracas in her wonder at him. Caring for things, like caring for the smell of lavender. How many men that she knew would have done such a thing? Oh, how extraordinarily nice workmen were, she thought. Why couldn't she have workmen for her friends rather than the silly boys she danced with and who came to Sunday night supper? She would get on much better with men like these. It's all the fault, she decided, as the tall fellow drew something on the back of an envelope. Something that was to be looped up or left to hang of these absurd class distinctions. Well, for her part, she didn't feel that, not a bit, not an atom. There came the chuck-chuck of wooden hammers. Someone whistled. Someone sang out. Are you right there? Matey, the friendliness of it, the just, to prove how happy she was. Just to show the tall fellow how at home she felt and how she despised stupid conventions. Laura took a big bite of her bread and butter as she stared at the little drawing. She felt just like a work girl.